When she told him that she was pregnant, Derek had a little guy kind of freak out and said, "What?
Get the fuck out of here, man."
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, but he does accuse her of trying to trap him.
Yeah, that's his exact words. She said, "I want to be pregnant right now." And he says, "Well, I feel like I'm being trapped."
Yeah.
And he tells her he's not prepared for this.
Yeah. I have an idea for lots of people, not just on this show. Stop fucking nutting inside of people. Like, it's fucking crazy. Just stop fucking coming in people.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.
Hi, it's Bad TV in your ears. We are back. I am Dylan Wren. I'm saddled up next to one Patrick Hickey.
Great to be here.
Dude, very exciting stuff.
What's that?
Well, really quickly, you are drinking an atrocious beverage.
Oh, I thought it was good for you. It's 0 calories.
Yeah, you didn't think that, though, right?
Well, anything that's 0 calories, what could it do to you? It's like drinking water.
Yeah, it doesn't make you fat. Definitely could give you cancer, though, very quickly. What is that? Sparkling ice black raspberry.
Delicious.
Let me try it.
Put a little vodka in there. You got yourself a nice little cocktail.
Did you put vodka in it?
No.
You know what?
I don't drink till the third show.
That would be a perfect drink for the show that we're covering. I feel like that would
Make it a drink in prison drink.
Yeah, exactly. And the show that we're covering is none other than Life After Lockup. Now, we had a little bit of a snafu today.
Yeah, you were very concerned. I was concerned that you were concerned. You watched the wrong version of the show.
Mm-hmm. You know what? No, that is disgusting. Yeah. Yeah. It has a deceptive okayness in the front and then an acrid chemical sweetness in the back. Chuck a little vodka in there and you've got yourself an organ rotting concoction. All right. So what I did was I watched, God fucking knows, I watched some Love After Lockup season finale wherein I met a lot of fun characters who are going to be on this show. Lindsay and Blaine, I met. I also met Deontay, Lindsay's former lover. Yeah. That breakup was, Marsden and McAdams kind of, eat your heart out. It hurt me because Deontay seemed so hurt. And she seemed so hurt by his hurt. But it's okay because now she's with Blaine, who is a habitual offender.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
It's a new word. Habitual offender.
Yeah, that's what the legal system refers to him as. Somebody who is in such a cyclical pattern of generational trauma that they cannot help themselves but commit crimes over and over and over and over and over again. But before we get into any of that, I did land on the correct episode. We are going to be covering Life After Lockup. We're going to reunite with Justine and Michael, Longtooth himself. We're going to be reuniting with Monique and Derek, little guy who has gained a little happy weight. I'm happy for him. Mm-hmm. She has stayed the same, which is good because if she gained any more weight, it would be life-threatening. Not that the current state isn't. We have a lot of stuff to get into, but before we do you have any public service announcements?
Yeah. Head over on that patreon.com/another podcast network. $12 tiers get you everything. If you ever wonder what we're actually saying when our sensors beep us, behind that wall for $12, you get to hear what old Patty's putting down that the powers that be won't allow you to hear.
Who do you think says worse shit, me or you?
Definitely you.
You think?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. All right. So also iTunes ratings and reviews. Spotify is back online. If you were a listener to Spotify, all you have to do is scream at your distribution company via email and say, we're going to quit and leave. And they will all of a sudden fix things. It's miraculous how that works. So anyways, Spotify is back on board. Go listen there. Leave reviews if that's your preferred platform. Tell everybody.
Hey, you got to follow us on Bad TV. And also, this is a video. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and you want to see Dylan and I or our new videographer, Kaylin, see us in the room and what I'm wearing prison garb, go to YouTube. What is it? Bad TV Podcast on YouTube, right, Dylan?
Yeah, I think so.
We're trying to build that channel out. So help us out. Go subscribe there right now.
All right. So let's get into the episode. Pat, how did you feel about the episode and how many handcuffs do you give it?
Okay, Dylan. Well, first off, I want to say this. I'm glad you were acquainted with Lindsay's past because it actually goes much deeper than that. But I feel like in this episode, there's so many different characters. I'm not going to overdo it, but I am going to coach you up a little bit on the history of some of these people.
I'm definitely going to need some history from you. I got to say the saddest thing I watched was there's the guy who's really bad with money who spends $300 on sweat jackets for gender reveals and also a plane. What's his name? Chase?
Chase, yep.
Yeah, Chase. And the person that he is engaged to, quote unquote, that was a real bummer of a picnic, that gender reveal, wherein her sister, who had overdosed on some kind of drug, kind of throw a dart at the wall and see what sticks. Her father turned out to be kind of like a trailer park boy, kind of heroin addict himself. And when they were reuniting and she was talking about her pain and that she was going to be leaving for Arizona and he wouldn't see her a lot, I think he was scratching at his heroin wounds. So, yeah.
Wow. You got a lot out of that episode, that wrong episode you watched.
Yeah, like I spoke about the cyclical patterns of this, and it would seem as though, regardless of if she moves to Arizona, if she moves to Timbuktu, this cycle has guaranteed itself another revolution.
Oh, yeah. You think changing a zip code's going to change that? No way, man.
It is fucked up shit.
It is fucked up shit.
Yeah.
All right. So I love the episode. It's got a lot of storylines going on. I will say this, though. I thought I finished. You will say
what's going on, and you'll tell the audience that this is probably going to happen a couple more times. You will say that.
Right. I'm coughing. All right, Tyler Ross.
Yeah.
Guy needs a spinoff.
Who's Tyler Ross?
He's the attorney.
Oh, my God, yeah. Ross and Associates.
He needs $16,000 in a briefcase right now.
What a charlatan this guy is, huh? $15K later, and you're still in prison for 17 years. I got you 17. You said the max was 18. I know. I got you 17.
Well worth the money.
You're going to come out a young man-ish. We'll get you a phone in there.
Lots of fun. By the way, Dylan, as you saw, the cast that we were presented in this first episode, that's just the start.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to start layering in old
I saw Marcelino and
the redhead.
Brittany.
Yeah.
And her.
I thought those two were going to make it.
Well, that's a joke, right? But I saw her destroying almost every single thing in her home after accusations of cheating were screamed at him, and he kind of didn't really balk at them. He was like, yeah, I did fuck like 15 people.
Yeah.
So that was fun to watch. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see everybody. But these are your handcuffs.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry.
All right, so great episode.
I'm champing at the bit to talk.
It wasn't as depressing as I thought it would be, but it still was sad.
Yeah.
Four handcuffs.
Yeah, 4 handcuffs. I enjoyed the episode quite a bit. Hate seeing Justine and Michael. Do like seeing Justine finally kind of listen to the anxiety that is screaming inside of her about quitting her job at Rite Aid and marrying a ex-con and having so many kids. So that's good that she's starting to feel pain, and it was sad that she felt pain in a matching outfit that made her look like a traffic cone, but you can't have everything.
I thought they both looked like they pick up trash on the side of the road.
Yeah, exactly. 5 pots.
Nice.
Great episode. Pat, where do we begin?
All right, let's start with Lindsay and Blaine, the habitual offender.
Yeah.
Now, Lindsay, I'm glad you watched that episode, Dylan. Okay, so she actually started out before. Is it Devontae or Dewante? How do you say his name?
Deontay.
Deontay.
Yeah.
There was a guy before him. When she first came on the show, she was dating a guy who, an older guy with a cleft palate. His son had just died on a motorcycle accident the year before, so he was really sad.
Yeah.
And he fell in love with Lindsay. He rents this house and he wants to make it the perfect house for her. She gets out right at the beginning of COVID. She couldn't even see her own daughter. And they talk through the door. Really, really depressing. What made it even more depressing was that this character, this guy who wanted to be the Prince Charming,
Yeah.
he had a troubled infatuation with prostitutes, and he kept records of how much money he was spending on them. Lindsay found those in his desk, and then she destroyed his entire house. And when you know it, that's a felony. She got put back in jail for that.
Yeah.
So when she came out,
It's like a really fucked up, really real life game of Chutes and Ladders. It's like, oh, you got a ladder. You bought a double wide that looks like it's haunted. You're going up the board. Oops, found out that your boyfriend owes Ross and Associates $15,000, so you actually have to live in that with all the mold, right? And there you found a chute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, after this guy, she started dating Devontae, who he likes a gigantic blow-up doll that he likes to come in and then leave it uncleaned under his bed.
Deontay?
Yeah, big turn off for her.
Okay, so
she got a case of the icks.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I was wondering what was so sick about this puppy. Because she couldn't have just been leaving him because, so something had to have happened. Because I think a good rule of thumb about men on this show is that they're philandering pieces of fucking shit, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Yeah.
So she was through with him. Now she found Blaine, and they've been dating for 10 months, and the relationship is still hot and heavy, and they're looking to get into the real estate game, these two.
Yeah. Land is the only thing they can't make more of, but they can make a lot more mechanically pressed double wide trailers.
Well, Dylan, I'm glad you pointed out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of those.
Their first property that they're eyeing out there, it looks like it exploded after a bad meth accident. Bad
It looks like my late Uncle Donnie's Creek Shack, where he used to, he was on the lam in there quite often, and it was shocking that the sheriff's office did not find him there because he was there doing drugs with his dog Cree. He was a wood gypsy, and that's exactly what this house looks like its inhabitants are, wood gypsies. It's a scary place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also it has some beauty to it.
But it may potentially be a house of love for these two. Blaine describes the relationship as being stuck together. One is metal and the other is a magnet. Hi, I'm metal. Oh, hi, I'm a magnet. Hey, do you have any crack?
Yeah, that was a cute anthropomorphization. What? God damn it.
Yeah, I got crack. Snap.
So you can see in the episode that I wasn't supposed to watch that I did, that I'm glad that I did, that their relationship is purely sexual. The way that she kisses him when she gets back in the car after ripping the heart of that sex doll fucker Deontay was, you could tell that this was about smut. This was not about heart. Deontay is about heart, and he may come into plastic every once in a while, but if you find solid footing, you need to not run for sexy quickstand like Blaine, who will have a meeting with Ross of Ross and Associates coming up here in a minute.
Yeah, I think we're there, man.
Oh, are we there right now?
Well, yeah, they go paint shopping first, for that real estate investment they're going to work on.
Oh, yeah. Well, he says he's done a lot of bad things, and we find out the laundry list of bad that he has committed right now with Tyler Moss and Tyler Moss Associates. So we've got 2 indictments that Tyler's working on right now. Also, don't hire lawyers with ponytails named Tyler. That's obvious, right? Because Tyler's not a lawyer's name. That's not a man of the law. That is a charlatan. Sorry to any,
Guy's named Tyler.
Bar card holding Tylers out there. 2 indictments, possession of drugs, and another possession of a gun while on parole. Now, there's another accusation of him doing
some pain pills. He's selling pain pills as well as meth. Yeah,
another drug accusation, and then given this kind of fun snowball that's been rolling down a hill for some time.
This is news to Lindsay, by the way.
Oh yeah. because of this patterning, the powers that be have deemed him a habitual offender, which is the subtitle of this show. Women's entertainment is not pulling any punches. There is a moment wherein she looks at him and realizes that he is a liar and a piece of shit and a habitual offender. And I love the dumb gaslighting that the men try to kind of cast onto women on the show. He blatantly defends that, or, feverishly defends himself, says that he was not lying. She just never asked, which is not a thing that works. You didn't tell me that you killed all those people. Well, you never asked. I wouldn't just volunteer that information. You have to ask me if I've killed people before. Then I'll be very transparent with you.
Hey, I got some advice for Blaine.
Yeah.
Fuck the paint. Get in a car and start driving to Mexico, dude.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, there's no way. And this is another trope of the show, people saying it's in God's hands. How could you trust God anymore? Your life is so horrible. The ceiling is so low on your life. God must fucking hate you. So don't leave it in his hands. Leave it in your hands. Have those hands firmly rooted to the wheel of a car and get to Mexico. I don't know what extradition is. You get to a country that doesn't have extradition.
Not that they ain't going to be chasing him down there for those charges.
Yeah.
Just go down to Mexico, work at a taco hut, sell surfboards, do whatever you could do. At least you're not going to be in a fucking cage for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's get to Derek and Monique. Our favorite. Derek stepped out on Monique because he thought their relationship was in a gray area. Once again, this is bad, dumb manipulation. He went to buy her a ring, so there was no real gray area. He just wanted to fuck that psychotic CO because she was threatening to burn his entire family alive if he did not. So,
Yeah, gray actually means green, to throw your little wang into women with no self-esteem. Actually.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that CO was pretty scary and intimidating. I mean, when she was showing her asshole off like that,
oh yeah,
very intimidating. I mean, you have no choice but to put your penis in it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Might beat you up, put you in a headlock. He's a little man.
Yeah, he is a little man, and we've talked about the bout between him and Monique before. And neutral field, I think she wins 7 out of 10 times. We've talked about it very crassly. There's weight classes for a reason, but her cardiovascular health is not in good shape.
Yeah, and to fix things though, Dylan, because he's gonna smooth things over with Mo after all this, going out on her and whatnot. He's gonna give her a candle.
Yeah, candles are a common gift given on this show. You recall back to Travis and Ashley, and I'm excited to kind of accrue more encyclopedic knowledge of these pathetic lives as we continue watching this show. But candles are a theme of gift giving on this show.
You think because they're inexpensive, but they're really not.
No, they're not expensive. They're just, they're just dumb investments. Yeah.
Hey, can I do a meanwhile?
Well, the witches are with him.
Well, yeah, the witches are with him, and they're being more hateful than ever. They're saboteurs. You don't want these two around.
I know. They're making fun of her weight. Who would do that? What a monster.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Well, then meanwhile, we cut to Mo, and she's in that car again. I had a thought.
Yeah.
And it's actually looking out for her. What if she just lived in the car? Right? She sleeps in the car.
Elaborate.
Oh, well, she can just drive up to a drive-through so she can, eat. And I think it'd probably be better for her back not to have to move around so much.
Yeah, the issue, though, is when these types of people are immobile, as they often are, but there's a difference between immobile and stuck. And if they are stuck or rooted to a place for too long, what happens to the epidermic layer is that it begins to bruise and it begins to callus and things get really kind of nasty. So I don't think that's a good idea for her because while she is moving in the car, she is rooted to that seat. Her body's not moving at all. The skin is turning purple. It's turning green. It's turning slatey. And it is just...
Also, you actually, it's a good point. You don't want to, what it does to your self-esteem when they have to come in with a chainsaw to cut open to a space to then put you attached to a crane just so you can go on a date.
Yeah, and it's fucked up to think how on the balls of your feet, you need to take a pet egg to it. Imagine if that was that texture, but on the back of your thigh, Maybe we should move on.
Sure.
Who do we got next, Pat?
We got Michael and Justine and their 18 kids.
Yep. So
what happened to that BMW, by the way, Justine?
Either sold or possessed. So, backseat lessons from ex-convict stepdad. Whip one dude's ass and everyone will respect you. This is not the yard. This is elementary school. They get to jujitsu class, and Justine says that the kids are not letting her son sit with them at school. So their solution to this problem is to arm the child with a martial education that he can use to beat the fuck out of them so that they will let him sit there. Mm-hmm. Again, A+ parenting from Justine and Michael.
Well, here's what's it's a little poor Santana. I feel bad for the kids.
Yeah.
So Michael actually demonstrates.
Love that name, Santana.
I love it too.
Yeah.
He demonstrates a technique for defending yourself, and it's really odd if you watch it because he has both hands protecting his asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I guess you protect the most dangerous area for yourself in prison, but I don't think a 12-year-old needs that in the lunchroom. Put your fists up.
Yeah. Well, we got our hands on some unaired footage, and Michael's knowledge of how to defend oneself does kind of seep further into Santana's reality. He tells Santana and the rest of the kids that he got stabbed in the cock one time, and I'm glad they didn't leave this in the show, but that he was almost raped on multiple occasions. Mm-hmm. And what you have to do is keep your hands like that, but it also doesn't hurt to sew it shut in a braided kind of way, kind of like a Venus flytrap, if you have enough hair. Now, people will often pin you down and shave that so that you cannot sew that treasure chest shut. And Justine or Sherry, I can't remember who it was. They walked in, they were like, hey.
Hey, are you talking about your chode getting stabbed by a knife fashioned out of 14 toothpicks? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, a little too much for the kids.
Like a prison night.
Yeah, save that until they're 15 and can handle it.
Right, exactly.
What? By the way, the worst scumbag ever. I fucking hate that guy.
I don't know who's worse, him or Cam, but it's dicey.
By the way, Sherry comes along. She wants to know what Michael's family thinks what's going on. Now, we know, but he says, they think it's Mary Babovich.
Yeah.
He can't get that.
All right, so let's get to Sean and Sarah. Sean is an odd one, but he's one of those guys like a Keith Raniere type where he's Keith Raniere is a little bit more handsome, but still little and creepy. But he's one of those guys who looks like an old man with mental disabilities, yet he still has like broken women who are attracted to him.
Dude, this guy comes all over the place, and children pop up out of the ground like fucking roots.
Yeah, I think he's a sociopath.
He is quietly because he has this nice guy demeanor and he's employed.
Yeah.
All right. So he started on the show. He dated this girl who was horrible. She hated him.
Destiny.
She actually, was it Destiny?
Destiny.
The redhead. Okay.
Yeah.
Is she in the pokey? Because she was looking to do like 5 years. She was thinking about going on the run.
Yeah, and again, we encourage all these people to do that because there is going to be no reinvention, right?
No.
Like just turn into Carmen Sandiego and go places and commit crimes.
That's right.
But
he lent her a car.
Yeah.
And then she just thought it was hers.
Yeah.
And she stole it.
Right.
And he had it repoed.
Yeah, he had it repoed.
That was a great episode.
It's my dad used to work in repo. There's lots of fun tricks. When you repo a house, what you can do is you get inside and then you shut the door. Now, people who have had their homes repossessed, they get a little aggressive, a little thrifty. So what you have to do is you have to take a pretty sizable 2x4 and you put it right in front of the door and then you just nail it into the ground.
Sure.
So that's one tactic. But anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about this. What I did want to ask you about was another man akin to, what's this guy's name? Sean was, I believe, a man named Chaz.
Chaz, sounds familiar.
He was dating Bronwyn, and she was a prostitute. And they rolled the package on their nuptials, and when the
Oh yeah, Chaz looks like Fred Armisen.
yeah, exactly, another one of these weird old guys.
Yeah.
Older guys, and
He'd been married 5 times, by the way.
yeah, just a real sick puppy. And when they were allowed to kiss each other for the first time as husband and wife, he did this kind of baby bird feeding thing where he licked the inside of her mouth a lot. And I was, the show makes me sad sometimes.
Big time, man.
Yep.
Hey.
All right, so let's move on.
Well, I was going to say, Sean and Sarah are having trouble after their nuptials. She wants a little sexy time. She's had installed a sex swing in their house.
Yeah,
and
with the help of her mother.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And don't get this guy anywhere near a sex toy. His jizz is it. Him and Michael, honestly, if you let these guys run free on the planet Earth, they'd populate it in 20 years.
Yeah, and that would ensure the fall of man. Because, so let's take this guy, for example, right? So his wife has just given birth to a child. His wife is very courageously getting in lingerie and welcoming him into a kinky kind of expression of her love. And because of the mental disabilities that I spoke of earlier, he is not mentally ready for this because he has a game of Modern Warfare 15 going on with Jaden. He's a 45-year-old man, so are you playing with a child? Anyways, to shoot a woman down like this is a really, really disgusting thing to do. Like, if you had 2 brain cells to rub together, you would recognize how important and how brave it is that she's doing this, and how much damage you would cause by saying, I have Jaden on the other line and we're in a new map.
Well, I think she's going to fuck her ex. So
I hope she does. Mm-hmm. I hope she does. Because this is... You can't come back from this. You really can't. It's disgusting. So let's get to the sticky cactus with Amber and Puppy.
All right. Do you know anything about these two?
Very confused by these two.
Okay. They were cellies. And in their original stint on the show, they had a mark named Vince. He was paying Amber when she got out of prison, and he was also using his military benefits to then send Puppy money. Okay? But they both hated this guy because they're lesbians, or at least at the time they were. So
they were lesbians with each other.
Exactly.
Got it. Yeah. So that's why TC hates Puppy, because he's threatened by her sexually.
That's right.
Right.
But he
doesn't say that, but that's why.
Yeah. Well, they've had sex with each other.
Yeah.
But now Amber works as a cashier at a fried chicken place called Cluck's. And Puppy is a cast member that I wouldn't be surprised if they announced that
repeat or
passed.
dead. Yeah. So the thing about Amber is that she's been having a tough time of late because she just had an abortion, and not just an abortion. She had an abortion wherein I think she had to drive over a day to get to another state because of these trigger laws that were put in place by sociopathic Christian fascists who are pieces of shit. So she's really, really going through it. And no politics, but I'm going to just say politics right now. Those people should be in prison or dead. So anyways, she's going through it, but thank God they're sucking down margs together. And we'll get to Amber's drinking later, because the reason why she couldn't have the child is because it would have killed her, because of a miscarriage or two, an abortion or two, and meth use. So her liver's not in great shape. Again, the show is very sad. What happens next, Patrick?
Let's see. Well, Amber's been really depressed lately because of everything you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And anyway, Amber's concerned that TC, is it TC? Yeah, TC. He doesn't like Puppy.
Yeah.
And she tries to calm Puppy, and then Puppy's like, "Hey, maybe I'll talk to him."
Yeah. We'll get there later. But first, let's get to Chance and Tyler. Credit card bills are ramping up. I think it was the cost of the gender reveal airplane spread across a few different credit cards. He takes a shower, and that is a lie. He will eventually bathe, but first he has to go through what looks like a shredder bin of credit card bills that he has nowhere near enough money to pay.
Right.
This is divorce. Yeah.
But Instead, they're going to have a baby.
Right. They're going to have a baby.
Yeah.
You know, in the episode I watched, it was kind of like an SNL sketch wherein she like came upstairs and he's like, big day, hon. I got these two the jumpsuits. And she was like, oh, how much did those cost? And he was like, 150 each. She's like, that's very expensive. And he's like, I love you. And then they get to the reveal and there is a fucking airplane flying through the sky. And she, in an OTF alongside him, says, well, I'm concerned about how much that cost, but we had a great day. Wherein my sister told my ex-heroin addicted father, what? I can't, this show is making me sad.
Oh, you want to get sadder?
Yeah.
Do you want to know where Taylor's husband went with, who created those children with her?
No.
He's not around anymore.
Oh, is he dead?
He's dead.
Yeah.
Car accident, though.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, so they're building a crib together. And because what he's done is he's gone through the bills. He's called numerous companies. And after a 57-minute shower, he is ready to build a crib with her. Now he is $712 short and 7 months late on one of them. So his credit rating is through the floor. But now is the time to come together. Now is the time to build the crib. Now, unfortunately, this gets interrupted by a little call that comes. Now, he screens the call because if you know anything about him, you know that he does not answer the phone on the weekends.
No.
Now, again, dumb gaslighting because she says, I've known you for a long time. That's never been a thing. It's insane that you just said that. But him, wrapped up in the lie, says, what are you talking about? That's a thing with me.
I think that's the last we see. They leave us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get back to them. They are the Ashley and Travis of my life right now. I'm excited to get back to them. So back to Johnstown and matching outfits with Justine and Michael. Now, like I mentioned, Justine is having existential thoughts, what with not having a job and having now or not that much money and having another kid on the way and, like I said, looking like a traffic cone or somebody doing community service. Now, he tries to put her at ease, and he tells her that what he did behind bars is nothing compared to the success that he can achieve outside the bars, which begs the question, were you doing in prison what you were doing to get put in prison? Because how do you make money when you're in prison? I guess you can, I don't know, run a sneaker company or send demos to people, but I'm pretty sure the guy's still trafficking narcotics.
Oh, is that Bitcoin, man?
Oh, yeah, that's probably true. He was investing in alternative cryptocurrencies.
Maybe.
But this theorizing is not productive for anybody.
No. This conversation they're having is about her poor decisions in her first 14 relationships, some of which created human beings. And
Some.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost all.
She's giving him a hard time. He's kind of offended by all this trust issues she has. Yeah. And she explains to him she's made a lot of bad decisions. And it's interesting that she framed that in past tense.
Well, he tells her that he understands why she is scared because he knows that this is the best thing that she's ever had and that she is probably scared of losing it.
Yeah.
Again, delusional confidence of an ex-convict who is in an orange windbreaker thing. Yeah. So we get to Monique and Derek.
His sisters are pretty judgy because they tell Derek, hey, how do you feel about when we drive up, we hide behind the car? And I think he says it would be kind of like a rhinoceros tucked behind a shard of grass. You two are fat too.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
Just that one's fat.
That mean one, Elizabeth. Those with glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
It is funny, though, when a fat person says you're fat. You know what I mean? Like if Monique called somebody a fat slob, it would be funny.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, they meet at like a public wharf of sorts, an oddly colored and lit public wharf of sorts. Mm-hmm. And that's where he gives her the gifts that he has gotten at that one
beautiful
kind of boutique. Candle, roses. I think that's it. Oh, 3 gifts. Candle, roses, and an apology. Also a demand that he doesn't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah, we're done with this.
We're done with this. Now, fans of our show will know about the kind of expose we just did on Ian K and Carol Juju. I would imagine that the CEO kind of makes him do things sexually that he does not want to do, things that he is ashamed of. I think that she turned him into a sex toy of her own, you know, and that's demeaning for a man. But when you're that size and you are kind of on the low ground in terms of power dynamic, you do kind of get turned into a toothbrush, a human little toothbrush for the vagina.
Now we're going to get to where Mo gives him, I guess, some bad news.
Yeah. What's that bad news?
She says she missed her period.
Yeah.
And he responds by saying, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, man. We'll get back to that in a second, but first let's talk about Puppy and Amber. TC
AKA Bargoyles. Ugh. They're out there smoking the ciggies away.
All right. Gonna have to cut that.
You walk by those windows, those bars with no windows, and people look like Puppy and Amber. You're like, look over there. They're Bargoyles over there. Ugh.
Who do you think said worse shit tonight?
Oh, it's a close one.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gross.
Okay. All right. I like the uncensored tier because we can kind of just float in this. You know?
Fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It is disgusting how you can almost smell the yellow on their fingers. Their cuticles are dyed yellow from the arsenic. Yeah.
That might be the chicken juice from Amber's job at Clucks.
Yeah, well, she's trying to get her life back on track. And TC shows up. I do not like this guy.
I don't either. He seems, later on, he seems like a raging drunk.
Yeah, he seems dumb. He seems like an alcoholic, and he seems very insecure. Because I think that the reason he doesn't like Puppy is because he's having to kind of claw Amber away from what is a type of sexual intimacy that he does not understand, but he has masturbated to thousands of times. So I guess him and Puppy kind of reconcile, though he really wants nothing to do with her. The last thing on this before we get back to the garage drinking.
Yeah, sad.
So much smoking inside.
It's also gross.
Yeah. I can peel the wallpaper off that place. My God. I don't understand the long socks. The socks are so long. They're almost at the knees. We're not playing a game of footy. We're just picking Amber up at Cactus Carries or wherever the fuck they are.
I always notice when I see characters walking around the neighborhood with socks up to their knees, I'm like, that dude just got out of prison. I think it has something to do with prison.
Yeah.
Like hiding a shank or something.
Right. Mm-hmm. Or protecting the veins down there.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a thin film of armor, but it's better than none. So back to Lindsay and Father of the Year, Blaine. This show has made me realize that I have to stop vaping. Like I said on Below Deck, everyone on this show vapes, and I do not want to be like them. She is sucking down some kind of grape-flavored puff bar, and this is what's so sad about the psychological state that so many of these people are in. She says, I don't want to lose him.
Mm-hmm. But she simultaneously realizes she's in a vicious cycle of toxic relationships.
Yeah.
So
I would say to her, actively lose him, right? Because if you think about the statement, I don't want to lose him, let's kind of open up the lens a little bit. The person who she doesn't want to lose is a habitual criminal, branded that by the state. And you have to, it's kind of like a role-playing game. You have to accomplish a lot of contracts and quests in order to reach that stage.
Of course.
You know, it's like you get a new weapon once you reach the stage of a habitual offender. But not only is he a habitual offender, he went in on a property with her without telling her that he was facing a multiple decade stint in prison. Oh, and by the way, all the money that we were going to put in this house is also going to go to a ponytailed man named Tyler Ross. Lose that person actively. Don't be scared to lose that person. Lose that person actively.
Well, she kind of does. She tells him, get the fuck out of here, and he speeds off in his pickup truck.
Yeah. She's hot.
She's very attractive, but
Yeah.
she's a broken person, and it's what is that that woman, that Greek goddess with the snakes on her head? That if you look,
Medusa.
yeah, she's Medusa. She's dangerous.
Is she really? I feel like
Very.
that's putting too much onus on her.
Yeah, I don't think
She's bad news.
very bad news. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she kind of has that hot, like, ex-con vibe to her. Yeah. A succubus. So, we move on to Sarah and the Lothario sling blade himself, Sean. Sarah is pissed because of the whole sex swing modern warfare fiasco. So she's getting all dolled up and she's going to go to the quote unquote grocery store. Now, I think if you sit in these moments a little bit, they are too painfully sad.
Well, because Kathy, her mother,
Yeah.
she looks like she's addicted to something too.
Sure. And Kathy, her mother, helped set that swing up, that's a cool kind of best friend kind of dynamic. But she has her mother come over and babysit the child so that she can go out and run errands, aka try to foster or rebirth a relationship she had with her daughter's husband. She
Anthony,
wants to actively cheat on her husband Sean, sling blade Lothario. Now, next episode, we're going to get a moment wherein Anthony sees his daughter, who is 8, for the first time, and he'll say, "Wow, she looks a lot like me." Yeah. Yeah. But you remind me all the time that when covering the show, it's important to remain upbeat. So, Amber and Monique and Justine. No, what? Monique and Derek, right?
Yeah.
Will kind of round us out. The drunken plywood pounding fight between TC and Amber will culminate the episode. But right now we have Monique and Derek. Now, you mentioned that when she told him that she was pregnant, Derek had a little guy kind of freak out and said, "What?
Get the fuck out of here, man."
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, but he does accuse her of trying to trap him.
Yeah, that's his exact words. She said, "I want to be pregnant right now." And he says, "Well, I feel like I'm being trapped."
Yeah.
And he tells her he's not prepared for this.
Yeah. I have an idea for lots of people, not just on this show. Stop fucking nutting inside of people. Like, it's fucking crazy. Just stop fucking coming in people. It's so wild. You won't feel like you're in a prison if you just stop coming in people.
Seems like a simple request.
With that being said, the joys of target practice are a little bit more unappealing with Monique, I think.
You want to get to TC and Amber?
Yeah, let's get to TC and Amber.
I think they're talking about blood work or something. I don't even know.
Well, they're talking about her health and how she just had to drive 700 miles to go get an abortion. And he is worried a little bit about her health. Now, he looks to be consuming some kind of hamburger helper in an aluminum disc.
He's drinking a Midori sour.
Yeah, and they are imbibing in something that looks like it's from that Billy Zane movie, The Phantom. It has a Mountain Dew kind of hue to it, but it is a Midori sour, right? Mm-hmm. What is that? It's Midori vodka and lemon?
It's Midori, and then you can add whatever you want to it. It will stay green no matter what, even if you put rum in there.
Right.
Yeah. But I think it's a whiskey and Midori is a Midori sour.
You could put the purest black in that, and it still would retain its Hulk-like green. So that's what they're sucking down, and to no one's surprise, they begin to feud quite violently. Do you want to break this down?
Well, I couldn't make ends of it. I have I guess he's pissed. Puppy's a fucking drug dealer, and then she says, "Well, I was a drug dealer too."
Yeah.
You're sleeping with me, Right. It escalates pretty fast, and the camera crew, they're ordered out of the garage.
Well, the thing, he was raising concerns of her health, and it is this odd thing where She is smoking inside for the 14th time that day, and she's sucking down a Midori sour, and she's telling him, like, you need to lay the fuck off because I don't do meth anymore. And I feel like, you know, if you were perhaps David Goggins, you could tell her that she has more improvements to make. But if you're TC in those long socks, shoveling in macaroni and ground beef and smoking with her and screaming over Midori sours, you really have no leg to stand on.
legs.
So leave her alone and let her gradually get better until she goes back to prison. That's it for us.
Wow.
Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Join us on patreon.com for uncensored content. A lot of that tonight. And I apologize.
Yes.
I apologize.
Oh, I was bad too, man.
So that's Bad TV. Thank you, baddies. iTunes ratings and reviews. Spotify is back online. Visit us on Instagram and on YouTube. We'll see you later in the week for Rock of Love and plenty more content. Bachelor is at patreon.com as well. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Peace out.
There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.